Let's talk morning routines. Probably one of the top questions I get asked is, what is the best morning routine? What morning routine do I do? And the truth is, I think most people set themselves up for failure with morning routines. They do one that's way too long, or it's got way too many steps, or it's just so unachievable that they're gonna maybe do it for a day or a week tops, maybe 2 weeks if they're really pushing themselves, and then they completely fall off and end up doing nothing. Morning routines need to be digestible, they need to be achievable, and then we need to not kill ourselves if we don't do them every single day. They're designed to prime us to succeed through the day, not to create one more thing that we beat ourselves up about. And the reason that they're so important, the reason that a morning routine, the reason that having those habits is so important is because I'll give you an example. There was a study done many years ago on people who came out of prisoners of war situation. And they studied the people who came out and were in a mental state that allowed them to move forward and those that weren't. The biggest difference, they couldn't find much difference between how they were treated or how long they were in there, but the number one difference they could find was the people who came out and were able to reacclimate to society, that were able to move forward with their lives, were the ones who had clear and consistent routines. Our minds and our bodies need routine. They need to know what to do when we wake up in the morning. If that's not a good example for you, think about this. Think about your energy every single day as the battery life on your iPhone. Every decision that you have to make, you're ticking away at that battery life. So if you don't know what to do in the morning, you've got to think about that, tick down on the battery life. If you don't know what you're going to eat for breakfast, it's going to tick down on the battery life. If you don't know what you do in the couple hours between the time you wake up and you go to school or go to work or start your day or whatever that looks like, it's going to tick down on your battery life. So if you want to start your day with the highest possible battery life, if you want to walk into your day with the most energy, well, then you need to have a morning routine. That's what they're for. They're there to prime us to show up in our day in the best form that we can. And so this is how I do it. Personally, I have a 3-point morning routine that's my goal every single day. And it's really not all that complicated. I can make it take a long time. I can make it take an hour or so, or I can also make it happen in 10 to 15 minutes on the days that I'm stretched for time. I wake up at the same time every single day, and that also means that I roughly have to go to sleep at the same time every single day. So every single day I'm up by 5. Most nights I'm in bed between 9 and 9:30. Again, I got a toddler. I don't know how many of you out there have one, but I got a toddler. So that means that not every day is going to be the same for me. That means that I don't beat myself up if I'm not able to get to the morning routine, or I don't go to sleep at the same time because my kid was up or was sick or wanted to sleep in bed that night, whatever the thing is. But every day my goal is to be in bed by 9 and awake by 5. Those are my goals. And then as soon as I wake up, the first thing I do is move my body a little bit. I'm not someone who likes to wake up and go and immediately work out, but what I do is have a little bit of a stretch. I'm just warming up my body. It takes no more than 5 minutes. The next thing I do is a gratitude meditation. So I'm not someone who can sit and meditate for hours at a time. It's never worked for me. Believe me, I've gone to all the seminars, I've read all the books, I've tried guided meditation, non-guided meditation. I've tried. It's really difficult for me. But what I can do is spend a little time every single day doing some gratitude. So the way that I start, my first point is my movement, my second point is my gratitude, and my third point is my growth. And so that usually is in the form of journaling as well as reading. So I spend time every single morning reading. I do all of my reading in the morning for business books or self-development books. I try to get through at least 30 pages a day. Sometimes it's a little bit less, sometimes it's a little bit more, sometimes I have to pick it up later in the day. But no matter what, I get a couple of pages in the morning, and then I also get a couple of minutes of writing done in the morning. So that's my 3-point routine. I don't make it any more complicated than that. And like I said, sometimes I'm able to get through an hour of doing that, so I can spend an hour reading and writing and moving and doing gratitudes, and sometimes I've got to get through it in 10 to 15 minutes because that's the time I have that day. And frankly, I don't beat myself up if I am not able to do it perfectly every day. The purpose of that morning routine is to have a guided set of habits, a guided format for us to be able to move through the day with the most energy possible. The way that we point our compass north, the way that we get our mind right, the way that we encapsulate our energy to be able to move forward in the day as the best version of ourselves. That's really what a morning routine is for. So make it easy, make it digestible, make it something that you enjoy doing, and do it for long enough that the habit starts to stick, because at first it won't feel natural if you're going from doing nothing at all to even doing a couple of small things. So be patient with yourself, allow yourself to fail forward, but set a morning routine that works for you. Again, my 3 points are I move my body even for a short period of time, I do my gratitude, and then I have a growth point in the morning as well. So you pick yours, don't make it too complicated, don't make it too many steps, but start that morning routine today because it's going to set you up for success.